Peace, Yah bless. I'm Messiah Ben Yisrael, the iconoclast. I'm with Yah our righteousness, and this is going to be part 6 of the destruction of Babylon, aka the United States of America. In our previous video, we left off at Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 18. So we're going to pick it back up at verse 19. As always, I have my trusty timer. Let's get started. It says, the portion of Jacob is not like them. Not like who? Not like the idols, the images, the false deities. He's not like them. For he, Yah, is the former of all things, and Israel is the rod of his inheritance. Yah of hosts is his name. So Yah is imputing his power. He's the former of all things. These idols have made nothing. They are the work of the hands of men. They are graven images. They are imaginary. They're concepts that are based on the sun, the moon, and the stars. The worship of the heavenly hosts, which is idolatry. But Yah is the former of all things, and Israel, the children of Israel, is the rod of his inheritance. And his name is Yah of hosts, he who creates hosts. Next verse. Yah says to Israel, thou art my battle axe and weapons of war, for with thee will I break in pieces the nations, and with thee will I destroy kingdoms. That's self-explanatory. Yah is saying that Israel is his weapon. He's going to use the holy people of Israel, whom he has redeemed and brought back to himself. He's going to use them to break in pieces the nations and destroy kingdoms with them. Why? Because these kingdoms, the whole entire world, is covered in gross darkness. There are no boundaries. There are no rules. People pursue the desires of their hearts and chase after wickedness. And their strong one, their God, their idol is the dollar bill. Money, paper is their God. But they're much too blind to see that they're stumbling around in darkness like blind sheep. Yah continues. He says, and with thee will I break in pieces the horse and his rider, and with thee will I break in pieces the chariot and his rider. Those are those cars and those planes and those tanks and, the modern day horses and chariots. Yah also says, with thee also will I break in pieces man and woman, and with thee will I break in pieces old and young. And with thee will I break in pieces the young man and the maid. So everyone is getting a piece of the judgment. If you're wicked, whether you be young, old, male, female, adult, or child, you are going to be judged by Yah. Verse 23, Yah says, I will also break in pieces with thee the shepherd and his flock. And with thee will I break in pieces the husbandman and his yoke of oxen. And with thee will I break in pieces captains and rulers. Now you can look at the shepherd and his flock as these idolatrous, thieving, lying pastors and their churches, their houses of idolatry. That's a shepherd and his flock, but even they will be broken in pieces. And with thee will I break in pieces the husbandman and his yoke of oxen. Those are the providers of food and produce, those that till the land. And with thee will I break in pieces captains and rulers. Those are presidents, governors, mayors, congresspeople, representatives, prime ministers, all of them. No one is escaping judgment. What does Yah say in verse 24? Yah says, and I will render unto Babylon, the daughter of Babylon, the United States of America, and to all the inhabitants of Chaldea, the Caucasians, the Aryans, all their evil that they have done in Zion in your sight, saith Yah. Right? So he's going to pay back these wicked Caucasians who are now catching hell, and they can't understand why. The whole entire world seems to hate Caucasians, and they can't understand why. It's because you reap what you sow. Now they have critical race theory, where people just hate so-called whites based off of the pigmentation of their skin. Well, again, you reap what you sow. Weren't they racist towards the children of Israel and other nations because of the pigmentation of their skin? Now they're getting back what they've sown. And they're flummoxed. They can't understand what's taking place. Why? Because they're wicked. Yah says in verse 25, behold, I am against thee, O destroying mountain, saith Yah, which destroyeth all the earth. And I will stretch out mine hand upon thee, and roll thee down from the rocks, and I will make thee a burnt mountain. Yah is declaring that he's against this wicked nation, which he calls a destroying mountain, a destroying nation, which destroyeth all the earth. Which nation or which nations haven't these Chaldeans, these Caucasians, these Aryans gone into and plundered it and enslaved the people and treated them less than human beings? Which nation haven't they dropped bombs on? Which nation haven't they set up a coup in and installed their puppet dictatorship in? And Yah says, I will stretch out mine hand upon thee. He's going to stretch out his hand and roll thee down from the rocks, and will make thee a burnt mountain. Again, that is when those nuclear weapons hit this land, this nation, it will be the fire of Yah's vengeance. What does Yah say, verse 26? And they shall not take of thee a stone for a corner, nor a stone for foundations, but thou shalt be desolate, ruined forever, saith Yah. No one will build or come to inhabit this land forever. It will be just like Sodom and Gomorrah. Verse 27, set ye up a standard in the land. Blow the trumpet among the nations. Prepare the nations against her. Call together against her the kingdoms of Ararat, Minai, and Ashkenaz. Appoint a captain against her. Cause the horses to come up as the rough caterpillars. So set up a standard in the land. Blow the trumpet among the nations. Right? The alarm for war, the signal that the war is about to begin or an invasion. Prepare the nations against her, because, as I've said, there will not be a single nation on the side of this nation when this takes place. The world will have had enough of the treachery of this daughter of Babylon, United States of America. It says, call together against her the kingdoms of Ararat, right? That's roundabouts Turkey, Minai, and Ashkenaz. That's Russia, probably some of the Medes and Persians. Appoint a captain against her. Cause the horses to come up as the rough caterpillars. It's an invasion. Not an invasion of army, but invasion of weapons, of destruction. Verse 28. Prepare against her the nations with the kings of the Medes. the captains thereof, and all the rulers thereof, and all the land of his dominion. They just assassinated one of the captains here recently, Soleimani, right? He's one of the captains of the Medes. So the Iranians, the Persians, the Medes, they have sworn that they will take revenge when the time is right. So all of these nations, a great confederation of nations, will be coming against this nation to destroy it, to wipe it off the face of the earth. Verse 29, Yah says, and the land, this land, shall tremble and sorrow. Why? For every purpose of Yah shall be performed against Babylon, United States of America, to make the land of Babylon, United States of America, a desolation, a ruination without an inhabitant. No one will be here. I can't stress that enough. What else does Yah say? Verse 30. The mighty men of Babylon, the army, the soldiers, have forborne to fight. They're not fighting back. They have remained in their holes. They're holed up someplace, in a military base, more than likely. Their might has failed. They became as women. Isn't that what we see happening with these transgenders that they're allowing in the armies and the various intersex and just these weirdos? These people who are not even comfortable in their own skin into the army. They have burned her dwelling places. Her bars are broken. Verse 31. One post, one messenger shall run to meet another, and one messenger to meet another, to show the king of Babylon, Lucifer, the Rothschild, Jacob Rothschild, that his city is taken at one end, and that the passages are stopped, and the reeds they have burned with fire, and the men of war are affrighted. Verse 33. For thus saith Yah of hosts, the strong one of Israel, the daughter of Babylon, the United States of America, is like a threshing floor. It is time to thresh her. Yet a little while, and the time of her harvest shall come. You know what a threshing floor is? It's where they beat wheat. And that's how this daughter of Babylon is going to be, because it's going to be nukes. Boo, 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 just flying and threshing this daughter of Babylon. Last verse. Time's winding down. Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, hath devoured me. He had crushed me. He had made me an empty vessel. He hath swallowed me up like a dragon. He had filled his belly with my delicates. He had cast me out. That's what happened when Nebuchadnezzar came and overthrew Jerusalem and the kingdom of Yehuda. He swallowed up the inhabitants like a dragon, like a crocodile, whole pieces. Not little bitty pieces, but almost the whole animal at once. He had filled his belly with my delicates. He took all of the precious vessels from the temple and brought them into his temple in Babylon. He had cast me out. This is when we went into exile for the first time. Time has run out. This has been Asaya ben Yisrael, the iconoclast, with Yah righteousness. If you found this video to be informative, hit the like button. If you would like to hear more content, hit subscribe and hit the bell. If you have a question or a comment or concern, drop a comment below in the comment section. Until next time, part 7 of the destruction of the daughter of Babylon. Peace and Yah bless.